why is it that the Americans in Cox's Bazar, the Americans being present in Cox's Bazar, has got Bangladeshis annoyed? They don't like it that they are there. Yunus might have agreed to it, but it's got the Bangladesh army annoyed. It's got even the Jamatis don't like the idea of the Americans out there. If the Americans are there to aid the Rohingyas, why are the Jamatis angry then?
Again, you have to see the connect that Jamatis have with the ISI, with the other Islamic groups. So traditionally, they've never trusted the Americans, no matter where it was, Afghanistan, Pakistan, anywhere. Traditionally, they don't trust them. So that is where there is a difference between the two, that is Yunus and the Jamaat. But insofar as the army, you very rightly brought out that it's not just the arrival of the Americans. There's so many other decisions that Yunus has taken without keeping the army in the loop, which is what was raised by the chief on 21st when he addressed his officers last Wednesday.
He called it a bloody corridor.
He called it, yes, he used that word.
He was quite clear. And I mean, I don't know whether Yunus expected that kind of an open backlash where your army chief is openly, saying something. Because for a long time, the Bangladesh army has been in the barracks. They have not spoken out openly. Even when Sheikh Hasina's ouster was done with the army playing a quiet role. Like, they didn't come out openly to say that humne coup kiya hai. So now this whole thing, this open saying that no, this corridor is not in Bangladesh's interest. Do you think that's come as a shocker to Yunus?
It surely would have come as a shocker because he would not have expected this. But then you have to look at, there have been phases when Bangladesh itself had army rule. 12 years actually, if I remember correct. Yeah. 4 years under Ziaur Rahman initially and later on Ershad another 8 years. Yeah. So all those 12 years were very troubled times. There used to be huge rallies, there used to be a lot of violent activities that were being carried out. It was not very peaceful. The economic growth was very poor. So their experience with the army at the helm is not too good. That Bangladesh army has learnt that if they come to power, I mean, if they wanted to usurp him, they could have done it any time. In fact, last year they could have taken power themselves. Yeah. Why would they allow him? But they have learnt from the mistake. They know it doesn't work. And the mindset of the Bangladeshis is more democratic. They want democracy where they can express their opinions. They're not like what is there in Pakistan. They're not like Pakistanis at all. That's why they formed a separate country in the first place. So since he's wanting to be there at all costs, he was trying everything possible. But when the army chief called his officers, you would have noticed three things that happened, which are very prominent. One is he had the Navy and the Air Force chief also sitting with him when he was addressing the officers. Second, he used this thing about the corridor, and what he was saying was that these kind of decisions, policy decisions, cannot be taken without us being in the loop. That is the second thing he was saying. And the third thing that he said was all these street protests, etc., have to go. Because he is very sure that they have again been engineered by Yunus. Because they are the people who got him to power in the first place, the youth, the Jamaat. Of course, there are BNP people also out there, but for different reasons.
So has he, has he agreed with, do you think he's on the same page with the army now and said, yes, I will tell the Americans not to be there at that humanitarian corridor, to back off? Or is it just a temporary truce now with both the Americans and the army?
So he's not okay with what the army chief has said. While the army chief has given a clear statement that he wants the election by December this year, what he says is, no, it will be any time between Jan and June.
Because the country is not ready for it as yet. Systems are not in place. Reforms haven't taken place as yet.
Yeah, that is the alibi, that's the rules, that's the excuse that he's giving. But more importantly, what he wants is the party that he has raised, the NCP, National Citizens Party.
To take roots.
Yeah, they have not truly established themselves.
Yeah.
When he came to power itself, this was one of the thoughts that was being expressed by many people, that he has political ambitions and to be at the helm, he has to have a party of his own. So when this party was launched, it was launched only in March this year, this NCP, all these students who supposed to have taken part in the all those protests, June, July protests. Now those are the people. They don't have traction in the rural areas where the votes lie.
BNP still is
no, actually in rural it is both
Awami
BNP
League.
and Awami League, both.
Yeah, but if
Both
they
are there.
declare Awami League that they can't take part, ban them in the
They've banned
election,
them,
then you never know.
But when elections are announced,
They'll
I'm
come
sure they will have to. In fact, even BNP is of the view that they want Awami League also, knowing fully well that even if they come, they'll not win.
But some
they
experts are
want-
saying that even if Awami League, they put up their candidates, the candidates will be killed. So they are already those rumors are floating that put up your candidates and we'll see what happens to them.
That's the threat by the Jamaat actually.
Yeah, because Awami League has done the same thing in the past with the BNP.
True.
So this is
True,
what it is.
but BNP
it's a very,
is-
to use again the word bloody, but it's blood-soaked elections always, right, in the past. Whenever there has been an election where both were taking part.
Yeah,
in it.
that's true. But the point is, the BNP wants this election, whenever it happens, to look very legitimate, which is why they want an opposition. They want Awami League to take part in this. And they're very sure that they'll win. So this is a very difficult situation. If Awami League comes, then I don't think this NCP stands any chance, given the fact that it has no support anywhere in the rural areas. That is why he's trying to postpone it, gain greater traction, embed himself, thereby make himself more popular.
But do you think Gerald Zaman is now becoming stronger in his opposition to Muhammad Yunus? And is he able to assert himself more? Because for the past 6 months, you saw that he was not really talking much. But now he seems to be asserting. Will he just call for an election regardless of what Muhammad Yunus says?
I think so, because that was the mandate he gave. When this government was brought in place, it was clearly conveyed that it had just one agenda, to have elections. Rest all were then engineered by Yunus. All these reforms, 5-6 reforms that he's talking of, that is basically to buy time. But the agenda for the government was just singular, which is to have elections. And as per the constitution, an interim government can only be there for 90 days.
Okay.
So he's trying to rewrite that constitution of 1972. You know, the famous July declaration last year, where they said they have to do away with the constitution and all of that, those protests that were there. They want to engineer a new constitution. So that is the point. But I think the army chief will stick to his guns and he will ask for election by December.
So do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.